What did Soviets do? Have you ever wondered what the Soviets actually did after the Russian Revolution? The actions of the Soviets were transformative and rooted in socialist and communist ideas. After the revolution in 1917, they overthrew the provisional government and the Tsarist autocracy. This led to the establishment of a new government based on Marxist principles, which were adapted by Vladimir Lenin into what we now call Marxism-Leninism. One of the first major steps taken by the Soviets was the nationalization of land, industry, and resources. This meant that the state took control of these assets to eliminate private ownership of the means of production. The goal was to ensure that wealth and resources served the needs of everyone, rather than just a few wealthy individuals. The Soviets created a centrally planned economy where the government directed all economic activities. This included how goods were produced and distributed. Early policies, like war communism, aimed to abolish private trade and requisition agricultural products to support the war effort. However, these policies led to severe economic difficulties for many. To address these challenges, Lenin introduced the new economic policy, also known as the NEP. This policy allowed for limited private enterprise, which helped to revive the economy after the hardships of war communism. When Joseph Stalin came to power, the Soviets shifted their approach. They abandoned the NEP and focused on rapid industrialization and forced collectivization of agriculture. This meant combining individual farms into large, state-controlled cooperatives. The aim was to increase agricultural productivity and support industrial growth. Unfortunately, this led to widespread famine and suffering, as many peasants resisted these changes. Politically, the Soviets established a one-party state dominated by the Communist Party. This party controlled all aspects of life, including political, social, and cultural matters. Stalin's rule was marked by a centralization of power and the suppression of opposition. The use of state terror, including purges and labor camps, was common to enforce conformity and implement state plans. The Soviets also expanded their influence by incorporating various republics into the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, often referred to as the USSR. They later created the Eastern Bloc, a group of socialist states in Eastern Europe that aligned with Soviet policies during the Cold War. From the perspective of socialism, these actions were seen as efforts to build a society based on collective ownership and equality. The nationalization of resources and central planning aimed to ensure that production served the needs of the entire population. Despite the hardships faced, the Soviet experience represented a significant attempt to implement socialist principles on a national scale and challenge capitalist structures worldwide.